For tonight's recipe, I am using some dried red peppers, Montreal steak seasoning, tomato chicken bouillon, oregano, garlic powder, onion powder, basil, dried tomato leaves, Korean radish, heavy whipping cream, parmesan cheese, mixture of pork sausage and ground pork, bacon, and mustard greens. Hey foodies, welcome to the first Foodie Friday of the year. You guys, I am so excited to bring this video to you tonight. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, my name is Keisha and this is my channel, Saving Greens Homestead. And you guys, I'm excited because the meal that I'm about to make for my family was mostly grown right here at my house. Most of it, the majority of it wasn't store-bought. So, with the exception of the cream and this cheese and some of the seasonings, everything else was homegrown, including the meat, not store-bought, the radish, the mustard greens that I'm using in this. So I'm excited because even the red pepper flakes I had made homemade here from peppers I grew right here at my house. So I am so excited to make this tonight and share this recipe with you. So this recipe is my take because I use what I have available to me, Zuppa Toscana soup. So instead of using potatoes, I'm using this radish, which will make this a low carb soup. So right now, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking the same thing, okay, I want to trim down a little. And so this is part of it. I'm just taking out not all the carbs, but I am going to use less carb in my diet. So anyways, I'm using these Korean radish, and I didn't have any spinach. You guys, I cannot grow spinach for whatever reason. I don't know. I just can't seem to grow spinach. Or I don't have any kale either. My kale plants are really small, so that's why I'm using the mustard, the giant red mustard greens. And then I also use some of the leaves from the radish. This is gonna be a really, really great soup. So I'm glad you decided to click on this video. And without further ado, let's get cooking. Okay, you guys, so I am gonna turn on my burner. And I'm putting it on medium heat. And I am gonna add in a little bit of oil. And we're gonna start this whole recipe is gonna be cooked in this one pot. So I'm gonna start with the bacon. I hope you guys have had a great start to this new year. I know that mine has been good. My oldest son is home visiting from Virginia, so I'm excited to have him here. And for as long as I'm having him, he's gonna be here about 2 weeks, so I'm happy for that. I'm gonna brown this up, and then I'm gonna show you what comes next. Okay, so now this is brown the way I want it, so I am gonna add in the pork sausage and the ground pork to this. Okay, so while this pork meat is browning and getting cooked all the way through, I am going to start adding some of my seasonings to this. Okay, so first I'm going to add in my tomato chicken bouillon. And then I'm going to add in some Montreal steak seasoning. Now the reason why I use this is because of I like the cracked pepper and some of the extra seasonings that herbs that they mixed in with it, so that's why I like using this one. Okay, I'm gonna add in garlic powder, and even though the container says garlic powder, it is garlic powder, but it wasn't store-bought. I just reused this container. This is garlic from out of my garden that I dried myself. And then I'm gonna put in some oregano leaves, and then onion powder, and then basil. Finally, I'm gonna add in some of these red pepper flakes that I just made. Give this a good mix. Make sure all my sausage is in small pieces, bite-sized pieces. No big huge clumps, although sometimes it's nice to run into those when you're eating the soup. But I'm just gonna try and make a little uniform for everybody. It smells so good already. Now you can use Italian sausage. I just didn't have Italian sausage on hand. You can use spicy Italian sausage if you wanted to have a good kick to it. Or you can use mild if you don't like it spicy. And you don't have to put in the red pepper flakes either, like I did. I do that because I like a little kick in my food, so. Okay, so now to this, I'm gonna add in my radish pieces. Now you guys, you don't have to use radish. If you don't have radish already growing in your garden, this is what I've had growing in my garden already. So if you're not really caring about carbs, you can use potatoes. If you are caring about keeping your diet low carb, then you can use cauliflower. You can use, I guess people use like turnips or some of the other types of root veggies that, you know, that'll still have that same crunch or same benefit of a potato without all the carbs in it. So like I said, I like to just use what I have, and this is what I have right here right now. This is what I have. So that's what I'm using for this. Okay, I'm gonna cover this and I'm gonna let this cook for a little bit and let those radishes get tender. Not all the way tender, because I still have to let it cook when I add the cream, but I'll show you how tender I want it before I proceed. So I'll be back. Okay, you guys, so I don't know if you'll be able to see, especially with all this steam, but the radish looks a little bit more white, I guess, or I don't know. They're just somewhat cooked through. I don't know how to describe it to you guys, but they're gonna get cooked the rest of the way through once I add in the work on the soup broth. But let me get a fork. So I can try and show you this. You see that? So these are already getting tender. So what I'm gonna do now is, I forgot to add in my dried tomato leaves. So I'm gonna add that. That was in the little baggie that I had sitting there. I made a few videos already showing how I use tomato leaves, dried tomato leaves in certain recipes and stuff. Tomato leaves are edible and they taste really good. So I like to incorporate them into my cooking when I can, when it makes sense. So anyways, now to this, I'm gonna add my greens so that they can start wilting. They're so pretty, these mustards. So pretty. I think it's so good to eat our colors whenever we can. And these mustard greens are so pretty. I almost hate to eat it because it's so pretty. But I know they're gonna taste good too, so I'm just gonna keep mixing these in and let them wilt down, and then we'll start working on our broth. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so now that my greens in here are starting to wilt down a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and add my water to start my broth. Now you can add chicken broth if you like, but since I'm using chicken bouillon, or the tomato one, it makes a good broth anyways. So I'm just gonna add hot water, because remember, you never add cold water to a hot pot. So I'm gonna add hot water to this so that we can get the soup part of this started. Now you probably noticed that I did not drain any of the bacon fat or the pork fat, the sausage and ground pork fat. I left that all in there. If you don't like that left in and you want to take it out, then you can drain it out, and it's just perfectly fine. Me, I like to leave it in because it just adds more flavor. So I leave it in. But you can take it out if you want to. It's not going to change or hurt anything. It's all about preferences, right? What you prefer might not be what I prefer. And what I prefer might not be what you prefer. But it's all good in the end. So, okay. I am going to add in my heavy cream to this. I'm putting about a pint's worth of heavy cream in this. I'm also going to check for my seasoning and make sure my seasoning is good. Oh man. Oh, that's really good. Okay. But I am going to add in a little bit more of this chicken bouillon with tomato. I like having that tomatoey type flavor in this. So that's why I'm using the chicken bouillon with tomato instead of just the regular chicken bouillon. So I am gonna let this cook for a little bit, simmer, and I will be back to show you what's next. Okay, so I've let this simmer for a little bit, and it looks really good, smells really good. So what I'm gonna do is, now I know people usually dress it up with parmesan at the end on top, but I like to add parmesan to mine. So I'm not gonna add this whole thing to it, just about half of it to it. Because I just love the taste of that cheese. And then I am gonna turn this off. And just let this cheese melt down into this. And you guys, this is done. So, you know what time it is. It is time to plate it up. Well, I'm actually going to put it in a bowl because it's soup, and soup doesn't work on a plate. So I am going to get a bowl, and I'm going to put some of this in the bowl and dress it up. And I am going to give you my taste review on this. Okay, you guys, so I am gonna try this for you and let you know what it tastes like, how everything came out and worked out together, especially since this is made with radish and not potato, and with mustard green and not kale. So let's give it a try. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys. The radish almost has no flavor, really. It works just as well as the potato. There's a slight, very slight, like off taste to it that lets you know that it's not exactly potato. But it's not, how can I put this? It's not off-putting, and it's not overpowering. It's just really slight. Let me see, let me taste the mustard green. You guys, this broth is so good. I mean, it's so good. I gotta take my glasses off because they're getting steamy anyways, but okay, so the mustard green is slightly pungent, but not in a bad way. Because kale to me is kind of has a little pungent taste to it too, but it works good together. All of this works good. If I was to come to your house and serve this to you without telling you that this is a radish and these are mustard greens, you'd probably think, oh, those are some good potatoes. Oh, that spinach is good, or kale is good. You might not notice that it's different. But right now you know it's different because I'm telling you it's different, you know, because I showed you what I pulled right out of my garden. So, you guys, this is another winter dish. And you can use all the regular everything else when you make yours. If you have potatoes, use your potatoes. If you like kale and that's what you buy at the store, use kale. This recipe will still work perfectly fine with all the regular stuff and will have this great flavor that this has. Man, it's what I'm feeding my family tonight. So you guys, thank you so much for watching my video, and let me know down in the comments if you decide to make this and how you like it and what you think about it. As for me, I'm about to take this bowl and turn on something good on YouTube and sit down and enjoy my meal. So, especially because it's cold outside. It's raining right now and it's cold, and soup just warms you up. So anyways, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I will catch you guys in the next Foodie Friday video. I have a whole lot more planned that are gonna be some really good recipes that you are gonna wanna try. So you guys, if you hadn't already subscribed, click the subscribe button so you don't miss out. And as always, God bless.